Oh, sorry. What?
I actually walked out this morning and had a look how I'm going to attach it to the pallet and everything. So,
Oh, yeah. Look at that. As soon as I go live, the chopper comes over.
oh, naturally.
Um, is there? Because there's no point now. But is there any way of getting the speed controller down there
On what?
on this?
No,
How you going, Lewis?
no, it's impossible. G'day, Lewis. How are you? I haven't seen you for a while. I've seen you in the chats, but in the other chats, but not here. No, not unless you make a remote lever that operates that lever down the other end. I suppose
Okay.
it could be done, but it's a complicated procedure.
Yep.
Oh, good. I'm glad about that because I'm doing it 3/5 of bugger all. I'm glad you're all flat out.
Is that why you feel knackered, Robbo?
It probably is actually. Like I've pretty well worked hard all my life, so it takes a long. It's taken a long time. It's taken nearly 2 years because we've been in lockdown for that long, or
Yep.
on and off for that long. But it's taken me that long just to slow down a little bit.
Yep.
All right. See you later, Lewis.
All right. Cheers for coming in. Have a good one.
Yes, it is. Very, very hard when they tell you got to slow down a bit. drop your handle a little bit.
Oh, my wrist.
Yeah,
Huh?
I said yes. And open the flute out a little bit.
Yep. Oh, I don't think I'm turning that crack away.
Yeah. Just keep going, see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not really that fussed if I can't make anything with it. I was a bit hesitant.
And it sounds like that chisel would probably need sharpening again too.
Mm. That's right. I have to go and buy myself a another 4-plug today.
Another what?
And I have to go and buy myself another 4-plug. I've got one 4-plug and I've got the grinder and the lathe connected to it. So I have to unplug the lathe. Have to unplug the lathe to use the grinder.
I don't know why that wheel's out of balance like that.
I think it's what it's sitting on.
No, it's like when I set it all up, even then the wheel was sort of out of balance a little bit for some reason. And it's a good quality wheel on it, so.
Yeah, no, it's a damn sight quieter where it is now than where it was sitting on the bench in the other shed, that's for sure. Oh, wave choppers. Use the letters. You gotta plug the lathe back in now, you whacker.
I'll be back in a second. I've just got to go and get something out of the workshop.
I'll be here.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
The chisel's cutting now. G'day, Chris. How are you?
How you going, Chris? The tone changed rather dramatically then. I would have better turn it off and have a look.
That's always a good idea.
Not seeing anything that's showing out to me though, which is kind of the worrying point. No. It's definitely moving. This one.
Yeah, I know.
What'd you grab from your shop?
Sorry?
What'd you grab from your shed? Shed? One of them.
Oh. No, I just had to check on something, that was all. G'day, Mike.
How you going, Mike? What do you got, that? Oh, going on, Mike?
Got a new one in the chat, Clyde Johnson.
How you going,
Good morning.
Clyde?
Good morning, Clyde. Whereabouts are you from? Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Steel capital of the world, or it used to be. I've got no sympathy for you, Mike. Have a look at the back of that.
Sparking inclusions.
Sap veins, are they?
Yeah, maybe. It's nasty, that. How you going, Bob?
Good.
G'day, Bob.
Today, I'm sorry I'm running a little late. I just had a bunch of work I had to get done here.
Ah.
Yeah, it was nice and not overly hot and comfortable outside, so we fired the big grill up and cooked barbecued ribs outside, and that takes a little while. They just ran a little long because everyone wanted to get them off before they were done, and wouldn't do that, not with pork. So we were kind of late eating.
And just to fill you in, Mike says, I'm knackered. He spent 2 days digging a big hollow oak stump out of clay that was baked like stone. It'll make a great table base with the spreading roots at the top, but no idea how I'm going to move it 8 feet across at the widest. I just get my forklift, Mike. Everybody should have a forklift in their backyard.
Yeah, yeah, that would pull a rear end out of a car. Yeah, I saw Jay's comment, the request. He got a problem with how his lathe is, the headstock is fastened down.
Sorry, Bob, what was that?
Well, I noticed his comment about wanting pictures of how the headstock is anchored to the bed.
Who?
Oh, Jason. But he was asking everybody about that, and I wonder if he'd said anything or prior or whatever.
No, we got a new one in the chat. Clyde Johnson from Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania.
Ah, been there probably a dozen times, had relatives that lived there before they moved to Virginia.
I need some body armor with this piece. Damn.
Yeah.
Some piece of
Mike,
wood. It's like, hey, you're cutting me up. I'm going to turn around and cut you too, with pieces like that coming off.
yeah, welcome to our Australian hardwoods. Yeah, Mike, wherever there's a will, there's a way to move things around when you need to. And like I've always said, it's not what you know, it's who you know with what they know sometimes.
So, what you been up to today, Robo?
I'm actually making tool rests today.
For a custom project, or?
No, well, I've given away a lot of tool rests to various people, and I find I'm short myself now for certain jobs, so figured I'd better make some.
They must be a custom tool rest for a project, or?
No, just normal straight tool rest. I don't use curved tool rests or anything.
Yeah, the one tool rest that you have that I envy I tried to find out what it would cost to get them made. Getting made was inexpensive. I've got a man that down the street from me. The only problem is I needed to buy another banjo to use it, and then the custom fittings, of course, to hold the bar like you have for
Yeah.
doing a lot of long work. And I couldn't get through to him what it was I wanted. So I dug the video up and I played it back, and he said, "Well, that's not too hard. It's this," and he pulled all the stuff out of a scrap bin. He said, "The only problem is how you gonna anchor it to the bed?" And then I started, "You can't buy another tool rest." I
Well, there's
called
another way.
Powermatic, and they said no, they don't sell those often. They have some, but they're like $700, $800 plus shipping
Yeah.
for a banjo.
It's easy enough to make another banjo. Most of mine are made up, believe it or not. And if you got a mate down the road, it's easy enough to make one. Like it doesn't have to be a cam lock or anything on it. Just to answer Mike's question, no, it's ghost gum, but it's a pretty close relation, Mike. What are you doing cutting downhill? Uphill at least. No, it's easy enough to make another banjo, Bob, but generally I just put a bolt through them. All mine are bolted down in most cases anyway. They don't have to be cam locks or anything.
I was just making sure you were paying attention, Robbo, that's all.
I'm always paying attention, you know that.
How thick a stock in do you think I need actually for the banjo itself? If I just make that a
3/4 inch square steel's what I use.
okay,
I'll photograph one and I'll send it to you. I'll send it in the
okay,
messenger, all right?
fine.
Simple to make if you've got an engineering friend. G'day,
Yep,
Joy.
he runs a big machine shop and he's got a ton of scrap. And he does the neat thing about his shop, and that's where I've had a bunch of my stuff made, is that everything he does is custom.
How you going, Joy? It's got eyes that's looking at you, Joy. Watch out. It's watching you, Joy.
No, it wasn't run through a chip at first. It just looks that way. Well, it was destined to be firewood. Could have still end up as firewood. Geez, Mike, that's a good pommy expression. Does look a bit how do you do. She's good. The toe is all better. That's good, Joy. Don't go kicking anything else, all right? Or falling off something. Very good, Mike. Is that the 12-inch one, is it?
Oh,
How you going, Neil?
Neil.
Good, mate.
How's the back?
Oh, smidgen sore today. I sharpened the chains and cut down the big bedside table blanks with the chainsaw yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like I'm not going to get the 500 diameter out of them. Although they're up to 750 diameter, it was only one direction. The other direction was. I think I'll get about out of good. Like, keep in mind, there's a lot of rotten timber. I reckon I'll get about 440 somewhere around there.
Well, that'll still be heavy enough for them to lift, I tell you.
Oh shit, yeah. But yeah, I upended two of them to mark the circle and the centre and chop off and in the last one I was absolutely buggered, so I got the neighbour to help me. Mind you, it's right next to the crane. Why I didn't use that, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, still trying to manage doing things like I always do. Stupid bastard.
Yeah.
what are you making?
They're bedside tables, Bob. They're basically just a
log.
A little bit of shape down the bottom, but basically a round thing with a flat top. It's supposed to be 500 diameter and 600 high.
Oh,
So they're pretty big beasts. And I've got a timber here we call silky oak, southern silky oak, which is pretty soft and easy to turn. And although it's a standing dead tree, it's still very wet and green in the middle.
No, Mike, I just had to sharpen the tool, that's all.
But yeah, so some fun turning to do, which I was thinking of doing today, but maybe not. We'll see how it goes. My back's not too bad though, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, Mike, they're a good machine, provided you don't overload them. Like, you're better off taking 3 or 4 fine cuts rather than try and take it all off in one hit. Enjoy. That'll teach you for putting your foot in where you shouldn't have. We used to have the same thing when we were hiking. Like, I'd tell them all, put your boots under your pillow or something like that. But whenever you put them on, always make sure there's nothing in them first.
amen.
Same with sleeping bags. We always used to never roll out sleeping bags until we were just about ready to get into them. Because they've been, little snakies have been known to crawl into sleeping bags because they're nice and warm.
Scorpions are a classic for sleeping bags and shoes.
Yeah. You know, although ours aren't as bad as the ones over in America where Joy is.
True.
Well, when you were in Nam, I know the first thing that I learned when I was out in the field is that you carried a very cheap nylon knotted, like a webbing hammock you tie between 2 trees. That way you're off the ground and nothing can lay in it. The only thing that can crawl down into it would be a cobra. And you wouldn't find that because they don't like to hang it from trees. but there were some snakes that would.
God, geez, you were civilized. We didn't have that luxury.
That was just something you could stuff in there because I'll tell you, I had physically the literal what blankety blank shit kicked out of me one night when I was in a sleeping bag, or they called it that, but it was. And I felt something going over my legs, over the bag. And the person next to me had the same thing. And he whispered, he jabbed me and whispered, "What is it?" And I whispered, "I don't know,"
It's a
politely.
snake. A snake.
Yes, it was a small cobra, about 4 foot long, a baby.
Yep.
That's when we got hammocks.
And
Especially when the Sarge comes back and says, that's a baby. 4 foot.
How you going, Rex?
hello, Rex. Joy said, "Well, I'm just glad that the bug that bit me was not a poisonous one. It was just mad about smelling my foot." I'm afraid that probably, if it crawled into my boot, it'd be dead within 3 seconds, probably.
I spent 4 years on a project in Arizona, and I was told to protect you if you were going camping, get a box of mothballs and put a few around you, but pick them up when you're done, because the snakes didn't like the smell of mothballs. It seemed to work, but didn't see any snakes after that, but picking them all up was something.
I was thinking of asking the same question, Mike. Is the bug okay? Rex has dropped out again, Jay. Don't know if he's in the background again or not. Rex is on YouTube, right out. And Joy said, "I don't know if the bug is okay. It was fast and ran like snot on a doorknob."
The wood he's turning, is that what typically the bark is, or is that the growth that's under the bark?
That's under the bark. There's no bark on it.
Sapwood.
Yeah, it's still got a lot of white though.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fuzzy, so the sapwood of it is stringy.
I just uploaded a photo to the group chat, Bob, of those 2 blanks I finished yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, of the bits I cut off, I got 3 pepper grinders, some handle-sized type chunks, and some pen blanks as well. And then the rest was just firewood because it was just too far gone.
And Joy said she got a cot in the mail, supposed to hold up to 600 pounds. Not going to try and see how true that is. And Neil will be able to answer that one for you, Mike. Mike has asked, I guess Australia has some good hardwoods for carving.
They're called steel, some of them.
Yeah, concrete.
A lot of people talk about bull oak being the hardest because it's the only one that's been tested, really. And to be honest, there's 3 different bull oaks, although they're the same species, but the one in Melbourne is definitely harder than the one we get up here in Queensland. And I still don't believe it's anywhere near the hardest. There's quite a few trees that are a lot harder. From a wood turning perspective, anyway.
Yeah, Joy. Joy said most hardwoods are either slow growing or come from desert climates. Yeah, some of our desert timbers are pretty flaming hard, I'll tell you.
Yeah. They're the ones.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. They do hold detail well, but tends to be hard on chisels and things. And Rex, my pleasure. If I can help somebody, I will. You get them done? Very carefully, Bailey, Chris. And Rex has said, I thought lignum vitae was the hardest. Oh, no, I reckon some of our desert timbers are harder than lignum vitae.
Yeah, lignum vitae, actually, it's the densest, but it's not the hardest.
Yeah.
It's actually quite soft because it's so oily. And that's the reason it's, well, when I say soft, it's still bloody hard. But compared to some of the desert acacias, yeah, it's soft. Yeah, bull oaks is known from testing. They test it with a ball bearing dropping from a certain height and how much it dents the timber. Bullock has the record, and hence known as the hardest. But yeah, I reckon some of the desert acacias out there that we've got could bounce off without leaving a mark at all from the test.
Yeah.
Mind you, Bullock is a desert acacia anyway. But oh no, it's not. So it's a bloody casuarina. Wake up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I have
still desert.
A mallet and chisel,
question.
Chris.
I got a question for you guys and in the chat. I know that in one form, people who handle wood and know wood well, of course, you have hardwood and softwood, and they're classified that way. But you also have wood that is hard, and then you have hardwood that, you stop to think about it. It's like balsa wood is classified as a hardwood.
Yep.
So how do you distinguish when you're writing something and talking about hardwood? Because hardwood says that, it has leaves and it loses them on a regular cycle.
The definition of a hardwood, Bob, is a tree that flowers. The definition of softwood is one that doesn't, such as the pines and the cedars. They develop cones and etc. But they're
Right. Yeah. I know what you're saying. They have needles of some form.
but it doesn't have to be needles. It can be leaves, but
Yes.
nevertheless they'll have they won't have flowers.
Right.
And
But
it's
that's
only
why balsa wood is a hardwood.
Yep. But it's a botanist definition, not a wood
Yes, I
term.
know. But how do you distinguish if you're writing something? If you say it is a hardwood, that I could understand. That's being redundant, but you're classifying the genus category and then the working capability at the same time. With the second hard, or that is the softest hardwood I've ever used.
Yep.
People often carry on conversations and they don't, you don't know the difference. Especially, I know around here from what we have for wood, what's hardwood and what's soft. But when you talk about them that you have that's unique, are they a hardwood or are they the genus a softwood?
No, they are hardwoods and they are very hard. But yeah, definitely hardwoods, as in the species hardwood.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, Rex, I don't know what you're getting to there. What wood did they use in Albuquerque for the EMP testing? It is a structure made completely out of wood, bolts, washers and nuts. The wood 8x8, for example, was somehow squeezed down to 2x2.
Yes.
Don't know. Mind you, there's quite a few South American timbers and African timbers that are bloody hard as well.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the ebonies are pretty hard. Certainly the South American snakewood's bloody hard. But ironwoods around the country are pretty hard, like even the American desert ironwood. That's pretty hard stuff.
Oh, yes. That's a wood you use for carbide. Because if you use any other decent tool on it, you're going to be grinding it away to keep an edge on it. And it's, as far as cost per inch of tool, carbides are cheaper for some woods.
Yeah. But in the desert ironwood case from America/Mexico, it's mainly the silica content from the sand it grows in.
Yes. It totally eats up your tooling.
Yeah. Some of the timbers here, we actually get sparks off them and from your tools, and it's actually sand particles that are embedded in the grain, and they actually wear away your tool rather than the tool wearing away the timber. Interesting to watch, but yeah, tungsten carbide all the way.
And Joyce said Douglas fir and yellow pine. Yeah, they're soft.
Oh yeah.
That's why I got long thumbnails. That's what I used to turn them with. No, Rex has asked, will the sawdust ruin the lathe from ironwood? No.
In fact, it's the soft timbers that do more damage on your lathe than the hard ones. The sappy content has a lot of acid in it that eats away your lathe.
Yeah, black walnut.
Yeah.
And anything that's wet.
Yeah, that too.
Does that nut need tightening underneath, Jay?
And it's pissing me off, is what it's doing. I've had a guts full of it. I'm going to swear in a minute, I tell you. I'm going to throw it away and buy a new one. I've had it with it. I'm over it. It's as tight as it'll go, and I don't have a spanner to tighten it any tighter. So.
What, the shift, is it the thread, not enough thread, or is it just that you can't get a shifter onto it?
No, I don't have a spanner big enough to go around it.
Oh, okay.
But that's not the point anyway. I need the spanner to undo it every time I need to move it, so I don't really want to go tightening it too much.
No, it doesn't. They generally don't need tightening up much. About a quarter of a turn will do it.
Yeah. It's still on a cam lock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Take,
once you've got it to a sweet spot, you shouldn't have to adjust it.
Oh, no. Tell me about it.
You just need a big enough wrench.
I've paid for it now, so it's going to stuff me around even more, you see.
Jay, take the tailstock off, take the tool rest off, take the banjo off, and give us a look at the underneath of it.
I don't need to do any of that because it comes off the end here. I'll just take it off the end of the bed here.
Oh, yeah, right here. Right. You've got a pair of Stilsons or something, so you can tighten it with that.
Yeah, but how am I meant to undo it when I need to undo it with the Stilsons every time?
No, just take it up. Just take it up about an eighth of a turn, and then put it back on and try it, and see if it locks down.
Or if the neighbours would like a banjo.
The cam lock that locks it down, not the nut.
Yeah, but
What?
the nuts extended out too far, and it's not allowing the cam lock to lock it.
Yeah.
So if you take the nut up an eighth of a turn and put it back on and see if it locks down.
And next time you're at a bolt shop, get a nylock nut so it won't move on you.
Never. I'll specifically have to go to a bolt shop because I don't actually ever really go to them, other than the big green shed.
Yeah, well, if you go to a nut and bolt place, you need a nylock nut to put on it.
Yeah, that's what Neil just said, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It cost you $1.
Yeah.
What's the name of a bolt place then? Right, we got Total Tools, we got Adelaide Tools.
No. None of the tool places will have it, but a bearing supply or a nut and bolt supply generally carries nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
Mine's called Narang Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah. And ours are called Cranbourne nuts and bolts. How do you tighten the tailstock to the bed? When I tighten the wheel, the wood piece moves the tailstock. Yeah. Just the same as basically what Jay's doing now. You just adjust the nut underneath. Right, now just try it now, Jay, and see if it tightens up or not.
It tightens fine there, but it's when I've got the long tool rest on it.
Do up the cam lock and see how sturdy it is.
It's strong. It's staying there.
Yeah, right.
I often have to hit mine with a dirty big wood mallet.
Yep.
And
This
if
is that. Can you buy this bolt here?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
Good
mine's
old eBay.
threaded. This bit of
Sorry,
plastic. This bit
Yeah.
of plastic it slips.
Yeah, you can buy them. I forget the name of them now.
Oh, when you remember it, can you let me know, please? Because I need another one.
Yeah.
No, this one's stuffed. Yes, that's better. Thank you. With the banjo, I mean. Slightly less frustrating. So, just.
Yeah. Well, that's caused because people don't seat them in properly when they go to tighten them.
Yeah, don't look at me. It's not me. It's been the
No,
other number. The other
I
number.
know that. I know that. I've seen her do it.
Well, a spring loading on that so as you can move the handle out of the way
Yeah,
once you've got it tightened.
it's
I know
it's like,
people that take the spring out because they think it's stupid, and then they end up hitting it, and the tool rest comes loose.
Right, Rex. No, if the locker's too tight, it won't move. So you won't make grooves in the underside of the bed rest, I tell you. And Mike says, I think some guy called Robbo Robertson has a good video on how to adjust banjo locking.
why do you think I'm live, Mike? Then I don't have to watch a bloody video and then wait for an answer 20 years later on a comment, you know?
You can't believe that mongrel anyway, Mike.
Can't trust him as far as you can throw.
No, that's right. He doesn't know anything.
The only thing he's good at, Mike, is making a pen and then using that to open up a tin.
No, that's what skew chisels are for.
Yeah, amen.
I was going to say that, but I didn't think it would be very nice, you know? It's not cool, man. A pen's better.
But you got to turn pens with carbides.
Yeah. How you going, Dara?
G'day, Dara.
Yeah. Waiting for him to put up more. You'll be waiting.
Yeah, I must admit, I sort of run out of ideas of what to do videos on, to be quite honest. I don't like doing what everybody else does. Mine are more technically minded than anything else.
Well, one you could use is just lathe maintenance and upgrades you can do yourself.
Well, I've done that on that. See you later, Rex. My pleasure. Don't worry about it. You ask any questions you like. If I haven't got an answer, I'll make something up. Funny you mentioned that, Joy. Make a big salad bowl. I've actually been thinking about that the last couple of days, actually.
What's the biggest swing do you have on a lathe over a bed?
if I back the bed off on reg, I can get 8 feet
Oh, yeah, I know, but over the bed.
over the bed. 800. I can get just on nearly a metre, I think it is. It's about 900.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
my
wanted
old
to,
bowl lathe used to be a 900, i.e. 1.8 metre bowls. This one can only do 800. What is it? No, it's 800 swing. So
Yeah,
no, it's not. That's 800 diameter. Sorry, but this one you
Yeah.
would fast anyway. I'm just searching for those handled lock bolts or whatever they're bloody called, and I'm
yeah. I cannot remember the name of them, and they do have a specific name.
Yeah, I used to have them in my favourites, but I've deleted it.
And Chris says, I'd love to see you do a large pillar on that big lathe, like the whole process, but yeah, well, it costs about $500 or $600 just for the blank, and I'd have to wait until the customer wants one and just do it for the hell of it. And Dara said her swing is 20 inches.
and my Powermatic is 24 over the bed, but I can move the head to the end, and then it gets really ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I've got a bowl lathe that I can, that'll turn 9 feet if I want it to. The biggest diameter I've ever turned is just over 6 feet. And that was tabletops for a Chinese restaurant. I'll do that, Chris. When someone orders one, I'll definitely do that. But you got to remember it's a 2-day or 3-day process, so it can get pretty boring. And Dara said her PM 2020B overbed is 20 inches without up to 88 inches, but my scared butt will never do that. Yeah, I must admit there's a few gulping moments when I first start them up on the big lathe.
For being a hard wood, he's sure pulling that apart by his hands.
Sorry?
But the hard wood he's turning, but he's just pulling it apart with his hands.
Yeah, no. This was firewood that was split with an axe, I'd say. And our hardwood is very, very brittle and will tend to come off in splinters.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I hate wood with splinters.
Here
Sorry.
we go again. Doing it again. Again.
With the banjos loose.
Yeah. Won't tighten up now. Look, just
Right.
swings around.
Yeah, all right. Just do the same thing again, Jay. Just take it up another eighth of a turn until you get it in the right place. And make sure that the lock plate on the bed is actually seated into the ways of the bed, not
Yeah.
sitting up on one
Yeah,
side.
yeah. No, I'm always keep an eye on that. I'm going to find its place soon enough, and I don't know if it's going to like it. Unscrew that and take it off because that's just getting. This is the SOB that stuffed my wrist up.
Can that go in on the other side of the banjo?
No,
Oh, mine I can put it on either side. There's a hole for it.
No, they only put one hole in. I always drill and tap them out so they can fit it in too.
Oh, my Powermatic, you can put them in on either side or on the end.
Yeah,
And I've never used them on the end, but there's times I keep thinking it'd be nice to have it, because it'd be out of the way, and that's the only thing I can think of for having it, being able to be drilled and tap on all three positions. There's something that really, really pisses me off, but on the early Powermatic, like I have, is the fact that the cam lock rod runs right down the center of the piece, and if you drop a tool rest in, it hits the rod itself, so you're
well,
kind of restricted as to how long a post you can have.
well, it's the same on J's. It hits the rod underneath. It's not offset.
I'll give it a go, but the tool rest is going to move. I can't tighten it. So.
Well, if you can't tighten it, take it off and readjust it. It only takes a couple of minutes.
Tool rest, not the banjo, the tool rest.
Oh, right. Okay.
The screw's knackered, so I can't tighten it.
All right. What you can do is get a screwdriver and take that little plastic clip off. And I know it's a pain, but you can tighten it with a pair of pliers or something then.
What clip? I just had the whole thing off then.
No. You can take, there's a screw in the end of that, in the end of the lock, right? Behind that plastic cover there. See the screw? There's a screw head sticking out. Yeah?
Yeah, that doesn't unscrew, Robbo.
It does unscrew.
I tried to unscrew it and the whole thing came out of the banjo.
Yeah, right. No, well, hold the plastic thing in tight and then unscrew it. There's a spring behind that screw that goes down onto the plastic handle.
Yeah, this is slipping though, so it's not.
Yes, I know what it's doing. What you got to do is take that off. So if you can wedge that in tight against the nut and then unscrew that screw. Like that. Now watch out, there is a little spring in behind there. And boy, if that comes out, it just disappears.
Yeah.
Right. Now take the handle off and you have a serrated thing there that you can put a pair of pliers on or something and tighten it with. Yeah,
And,
it's stripped. I know exactly what happens to them.
Yeah, they're made out of pot metal, and that's the problem.
What'd you say?
They're made
They're
out of
made
pot
out of-
metal.
Yeah,
No,
In
what'd you
other
say
words-
about fixing it?
Sorry,
What'd you say about fixing it?
you can't fix that.
no. I know they're fairly cheap here, but
Yeah, they're fairly cheap out here too.
you can't just buy one. I've seen them. I bought some on Amazon about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm
but I
just
got-
looking at eBay, and under quill lock handles, they do have some, but they're not. They're all imported stuff, so it's not cheap. The ones I'm looking at the moment. A quill lock bolt and handle assembly.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
all they
okay.
call it.
There's other-
G'day, Effie. Well, it's my lunchtime. I shall be going inside. And today
I'll keep searching as well. I'm about to go, but I'll keep searching for the name of those things. Joe,
Yeah.
All right, cool. Cheers.
catch us later.
Bye bye.
See ya. Yeah, I'm just about to go too.
Yep.
And today I'm having a steak and kidney pie.
Ugh, you can keep that.
No, sorry, it's steak and onion pie.
Yeah, you can still keep it.
All right, I will. All right. Farewell, people. Catch you all later. Bye.
So how am I meant to fix this? I'm not.
Well, you can't fix it without replacing the whole handle, right? But you can tighten it with a pair of pliers.
Yep. Okay.
Like you use a spanner, you know?
Uh huh. All right then. Take it easy.
Rightio.
Find
Right.
yourself a square head bolt that'll fit in there and thread too. That'll do it.
No,
You
yeah,
can
well,
find-
you could do that. You could do that too. Like, you could unscrew the whole thing and get a metric bolt and put in there and just use a spanner on it.
Yeah.
No, I'll just leave it how it is.
All right. I can see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Have a good day.
Too small and too big. That'll be bloody alright.
Well, it's the way it is. Whatever tool you want, it's not there, and later on, you find it, and you don't understand why you missed it.
If anyone's missing a 10mm spanner, come and see me. That's all I can seem to find at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you, with here, because we have both ASA and metric, you got to have wrenches for both,
Yep.
and they look the same. And one of the things I learned a long time ago, and even with my Allen wrenches that I've got sets of, I always hit them with a little bit of spray paint, and all the Allen stuff and whatever wrenches I have, they have blue on them.
Yep.
That way I can keep track of which is metric and which isn't.
Oh yeah. Yep. All right. I'm gonna do. I might do a little bit more, but I'm not doing much more because I can hear Amber making my lunch. So I'll go for another
Hey.
maybe 5 minutes or something. 10 minutes. Thank you, Dara. I'll look that up. There you go. Look, see? There you go.
Uh-huh.
All right, thanks for coming in, Mike. Take it easy.
Well, I found them.
Yeah. How much?
Well, the plastic ones you can get, like you got in there, pot metal, 4 pieces for like $13.
Yeah.
Or you can get one that is all metal, machined for 10.
Yeah, I thought this was plastic, but this is metal. This bit.
Yeah, it's pot metal.
Yeah.
They pour it, in a cast.
Yeah.
The pot metal breaks easy.
Yep. Yeah, I reckon I'll break the plastic one, to be honest.
I'll tell you, I just found the one I like. I think it's what I need. I'm going to stick it in my cart.
Yep.
I'm going to check the blade tomorrow. I've had to do that many a times in my life.
Yeah.
That's going to be really pretty when they're done with it. But it's got a lot of character in it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's Ghost Gum, Miss Wood.
Yeah. The name of the wood kind of, at least from watching you turn it many a times, is the fact that it's just like a ghost. There's something hidden in the piece of wood of beauty. And it's kind of a ghost in there, but some people, ghost hunters can find ghosts. And when you work with a piece of wood like that, you come out with something really pretty. You find the beauty of it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I do like this Ghost Gum. It's quite nice. When I first seen it in the wood pile, I was kind of hoping it was red gum. It's really nice, that stuff, but no matter.
I know you use a lot of coloring, and that's the finish wood, but with Ghost Gum, does it finish up really nice with multiple colors of red and brown as you have now, or does it just oxidize and turn dark?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've just been informed that my lunch has been sitting on the table for the last 10 minutes.
Ooh. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry I was late, but I had to clean up the barbecue afterwards.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's right.
Riley gets out there and he can smell something in there that he wants to eat, and he'll sit next to it and whine.
Yeah.
Please, I can smell it. Yes, just drippings.
Listen here, human, I know you're holding out on me. Give it to me now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming in. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. See you, Bob.
Yep. We'll see you too.
See Dara, see Effie, see Clyde.
Definitely hit the like button. There's only 2 people that's done it.
That's right.
No, it brings your ratings up. Catch you tomorrow night, and then don't forget, I don't know what our meeting is going to be like Sunday. It's going to be live, though. We know that. And probably multiple cameras. They've been setting stuff up at the church, trying to figure out what to do and where to put everything.
Yep.
So we can do it and do it interactive, because we'll have one of our big screen TVs set up, and I've got a video projector I'm taking in and going to donate. So that'll help put pictures up where we can have different cameras, ISO'd on what's going on, but also on people that are watching too.
Yes. Oh, see you tomorrow night then.
Yep. Take care. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day. Bye
You
all.
too.